When selecting the inaugural Horse Person of the Year honoree, it was important to find someone who has truly dedicated their life to growing and promoting the equine industry in the region. One nominee easily rose to the top. As the Region 2 Director for the American Quarter Horse Association, an active member of the South Dakota Quarter Horse Association, and current chairman of the Central States Fair and Black Hills Stock Show Horse Committee, Dean Johnson is a true advocate and educator for the horse industry and is the first ever Horse Person of the Year. Dean grew up in Harrisburg, South Dakota, and learned the value of hard work through his parents. It was apparent at an early age that Dean had the drive to succeed. This includes getting his Eagle Scout designation in the minimum amount of time required, a feat only 3% of Boy Scouts ever accomplish. His involvement with the Boy Scouts took him to 2 foreign countries and Washington, D.C. It was also in Harrisburg that Dean got his first horse at the age of 12. When Dean was a freshman in high school, the Johnson family moved to Gillette, Wyoming, and before long, Dean worked from end of the school day to midnight nightly as a machinist at Powder River Transportation, along with working on area cattle ranches and breaking horses. Upon high school graduation, Dean was faced with a life choice: follow the family tradition and enlist in the military with his Eagle Scout training, or attend Rocky Mountain Community College and pursue an equine management degree. The decision to follow his passion for horses to Montana was also life-changing. College allowed Dean the opportunity to work for Newman Quarter Horse Ranch as a trainer, and in California for Todd Crawford, a notable trainer. This allowed him to train, compete in the show circuit, and learn the trade from Mr. Crawford. While in college, Dean worked as a part-time employee for Ray and Marlon Randall at the Bridger Veterinary Hospital. The lovely office manager named Becky caught his eye, and before he left for California, he proposed to Becky. This loving union has proven to be successful ever since. With $250, 2 dogs, 2 horses, and 2 pickups, Becky and Dean moved from her family's ranch near Roberts, Montana, to South Dakota in 2000. It was an opportunity to reunite with Dean's sister, Kim, and his parents loved the area as well. Dean and his dad purchased land in the Vale area that was close to the Fort Meade VA hospital to allow Dean's dad to receive medical treatment. After moving back to South Dakota, Dean took a job with Rabers Welding in Belle Fourche for $9 an hour. Soon, Dean started doing contract work for Pete's Truck and Trailers. The extra demand required the Johnsons to set up a shop at the ranch and later start Johnson Welding Service to keep up with local business. During this time, Dean was training and showing horses for as many as 12 outside clients. This meant many times taking 3 to 4 horse trailers to shows around the region to compete. It was on a trip home from a horse show in North Dakota that Dean's next chapter was written. Late in the evening, north of Hoover, when Becky was driving, Dean had just woken up and said, "Deer," and Becky said, "What?" He repeated, "Deer," and Becky again said, "What?" It wasn't until the two hit 3 deer that the kind words were meant as a warning, not as a sign of affection. With a completely totaled truck, Dean decided it was time to do something different. He designed and built a lightweight bumper to protect their vehicle, family, and horses. In August, the Truck Defender celebrated its 10,000th bumper sold and 27 employees at the Vale factory. In 2010, Becky and Dean moved to the Dry Well Ranch. Today, they have 80 head of horses and a cow-calf operation. They believe in quality broodmares with performance records and are bred to stallions with no less than $300,000 in earnings. None of the offspring are marketed before they reach 2 years of age. The breeding program has taken time, equity, and patience. In 2018, they'll mark their 10th year of breeding horses for the Dry Creek Ranch. Dean's success has come from the ranch, cow, horse, and reining classes in the AQHA. He credits his success to his ability to take ranch horses and train them to perform at a high level in the show ring. He is shown in Oklahoma City, Reno, and multiple world shows. His training program focuses on the longevity of the horse's career. Many of his horses are still performing for high school students later in their careers at 10 to 12 years of age. This is an unbelievable feat with the stress that 3 to 4-year-old horses endure in order to perform at the high caliber required in competition today. Dean has always been involved with state and national horse membership organization. The drive to be involved comes from understanding the difficulties in hosting events and his belief that equine events are the foundation of the horse industry. He says, because young people have so many opportunities to go multiple directions, it's critical that equine events like the AQHA shows happen successfully or they go away, and this impacts the industry financially. He believes in keeping the events healthy and fun, as it's for the love of horses. Dean has learned about camaraderie, commitment, and family through his years of experiences. It's the drive to follow his passion that has kept him in the equine business. Dean will admit that raising cattle and horses is not like a normal business because you don't have a 30% margin to work with, but it's for the love of agriculture that people do it. Dean feels his greatest accomplishments are the Black Hills Stock Show horse sales grossing over $1 million and the success of Black Hills Stock Show quarter horse shows. The Black Hills Stock Show AQHA shows are nationally known because a number of horses qualify for the AQHA World Show due to the large number of entries and the format of the show. He's quick to credit a fantastic horse committee for the continuing success of these events. Dean lives by the belief of being open and honest. It's how he attacks business, leadership, and how he communicates with clients when training outside horses. He always puts the horse's abilities and mentality over the demands of the owner. Dean says he won't compromise his principles when training horses if it would result in physical harm to the animals. When he dies, he wants people to acknowledge him as a horseman for the horse and not the prize. Dean and Becky stay busy with their 3 kids, Kimberly, age 12, Kendra, 8, and Zane, 5. The next generation of the Johnson family has learned the strong work ethic of their parents and grandparents. Both Kimberly and Kendra board the school bus each morning at 6:10 after they complete their chores on the family ranch. Dean will be the first to admit his family is a team, and without them, none of this is possible. Would you help us please recognize our inaugural Horse Person of the Year, Dean Johnson?